Alright, I'm just gonna give a little fair warning that the video before is going to contain some coarse language directed towards the Nintendo Corporation. I was a little irritated last night when I recorded this. Yeah, it wasn't so much with the it was just I was irritated with technology. I've been spending like 4 hours trying to just record one simple video for YouTube, and it just wasn't working out. So, now my official opinions on Nintendo is I'm not really that into the consoles. I hate the company. There's some games I enjoy, like Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3. I like that. Super Metroid, I like that. GoldenEye, Cruising USA, Mario 64, I like those. Can't really think of anything else. I guess Duck Hunt, I like that one too. I mean, there's a few that I like, but for the most part, I'm just not a huge Nintendo fan. The games are all right, but the company itself, I just don't like the company. And so I guess I can get lumped into I hate Nintendo, they need to burn. But I just don't like the company. The games, that's separate. Okay, gaming is separate from the company. So if you like Nintendo games, I'm not saying I hate Nintendo games, I just hate the company Nintendo. So yeah, there's that. Enjoy the video though, because it's a hoot. Alright, so looks like this is going to be like the fifth attempt at recording a video tonight. I've tried to record several videos using the wife's laptop, and she's decided to put 80 gigabytes of freaking anime garbage on it. So basically it's every single time I try to record a video, basically the stupid computer crashes because there's too much garbage on it. Which, I mean, I guess it's her computer, but it says there's only like 5 gigabytes of free space left on the hard drive, and it's just not enough space to try to record a video. So she has an external hard drive. I don't know why she didn't use it. But at any rate, so I guess I'll try to record it again. Maybe this time I'll get all the dates and everything correct. But yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I guess I got to where I am right now. If some of you may or may not know, if you kind of watch back in my channel, or if you go back to my main page and scroll down a little bit, you'll see that I have a playlist for all my video game stuff, which right now isn't much because most of my channel's been dedicated to ranting and to music. So I decided to give video games a little bit of airplay. But anyway, if you watch the console video where I'm unboxing all my consoles after being in storage, you'll see I do have quite a selection. But so I figured I'd go back to base one and just begin with kind of how I got to where I am as far as with the collection. So I guess we'll go back to 1989 where it all started. I guess it was 1989 or there around about. I don't know if it was for his birthday or for Christmas. It might have been for his birthday, actually. My cousin, he got the NES, Nintendo Entertainment System. Or Center. System. Nintendo Entertainment System. But anyway, so he got that. And I remember going over to his house and him showing off Duck Hunt and Super Mario. Or not Super Mario. Yeah, Super Mario Brothers. And so I remember several times playing that. And I was Luigi and he was Mario. And so when I was playing, it'd be like. Anyway, so yeah, we'd be playing that, and that's basically all it was, is just running and running. So he was actually somewhat decent at it, but I just couldn't go, and I just couldn't jump the first gap. The first gap, I just fall off and die. So that was fun. Then we played Duck Hunt, and I just tried to shoot the dog. But yeah, so that's some of my earliest memories. I was in kindergarten at that point. My parents worked, and my cousin lived right across the street from the school. And I went to kindergarten at that point, and I was in AM class. So at lunchtime, my aunt would go over and pick me up and take me back over for to babysit until one of my parents came and picked me up. And so when he got off of school in the afternoon, he would come home and we would play NES. I think he was in the 1st or 2nd grade at that point. So I was in kindergarten. He was either in 1st or 2nd grade. But yeah, it was pretty good times. And then I remember in 1991 going over to my friend's house, which it was another friend. His brother, who was in junior high at that point, he had a Sega Genesis, and that was the very first time I'd ever seen 16-bit video games. So he had Sonic the Hedgehog 1, and I remember very vividly playing Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and playing Dr. Robotnik at the very end. I remember that very vividly. And he also had, what else did he have? He had something else, I just can't remember what it was now. But it wasn't his, it was his brother's. But I just can't remember what the other one was. But at any rate, so yeah, there's that. Now, at that point, I kept on saying, I got to have a video game system. So I remember bugging my parents about it, and they're like, oh no, they're too expensive. We can't afford that. That's too much. Blah, blah, blah. So, my pleas just fell on deaf ears. But anyway, so I think it was probably about 92 or 93. Then my cousin, he got a Sega Genesis. And it was, I don't remember much about it. I just remember he got a Sega Genesis. And I remember he had Jurassic Park on it. So I remember playing Jurassic Park on the Sega Genesis. But then shortly after that, he either traded it in or sold it or something like that and ended up getting a Super Nintendo. And so we're gonna, now that we get to this pivotal point, we're gonna backtrack to an even more pivotal point. So I remember going into Walmart when I was a wee lad, and they would have the Game Boy there, and I'd be like, they would have the Game Boy, the Super Nintendos, and all that other stuff. But I remember picking up the Game Boy and playing it and being like, man, this thing's in black and white. Who'd want this crap? I want to play video games in black and white. Then you look right over there and you see the Game Gear in full, high-resolution, pristine color, beautiful sound, gorgeous black unibody. I mean, the whole production was just slick. And at that point, that was a moment in my head where I said, you know what? This Sega company, whoever they are, they got their act together. They're not churning out half-produced, black and white crap products. They're actually churning out quality and sophistication. And so that was a moment when I said, you know what? Sega's the way to go. And so at that point, I started paying a little bit more attention to Sega. And then shortly after that, my cousin got a Sega Genesis, and I was like, yes, the leader of the 16-bit revolution, yes. And so that was a pretty exciting moment. So shortly after that, I was like, you know what, I want a Sega. I want a Sega. So then I started bugging my parents, infiltrating their minds and consciousness, saying, I want a Sega, I want a Sega, I want a Sega. But they were like, oh no, it's too expensive. We can't afford that. Blah, blah, blah. And so they finally, I said, okay, you can't afford it. And they're like, we don't want to tie up the TV. We don't want to have, you sitting there. I said, okay, fine, you don't want to tie up the TV. Give me a Game Gear. And so then I remember even pulling a Ralphie, going to Santa Claus at Dad's Christmas work party that year and saying, I want a Game Gear, and all this other good stuff. So Christmas time came around, and we'll let the video speak for itself.
What's that?
Game Gear!
Oh, Crash Dummies.
Oh.
And David said it wasn't out.
What's David know?
What time is it? Okay, at 7:30, David wants me to call him. Tell him I got it.
Well, it's 20 after 8.
I know. 8? Okay. Come on. Zoom in. I wanted to show you what it looks like when you turn it on. Look. Watch. Are you there?
Hang on a minute.
Hurry.
Wait. Okay, I got it.
Whoa.
Turn it up. There. No, hold it up a little. Keith, turn it
There.
up. Turn it up.
Oh.
Like, no, honey, watch me. Like this. Turn it. There you go.
Wait. You didn't see the part I wanted you to.
Well, I told you I wasn't ready yet.
Are you ready now?
I'm ready. Okay, be still now.
There you go.
Turn it up a little. There you go. Fresh dummies.
Yay.
As you see, I don't really get excited for much. Well, at that point, it was probably at 6 in the morning or something like that. But at any rate, yeah. So I got my Game Gear, and I still have it to this day right here. You know, it's got the Sonic 2 in it. Sonic 2. Yeah, I still got the Game Gear. A lot of high quality games. Oh yeah, there's no batteries. A lot of high quality games. I have a pretty large library of Game Gear games right now, and I play it from time to time. I even have not one but two. I have two TV tuners, and they were great until the government screwed that idea up. But yeah, so let's see. So I went to my cousin's house, and he had a Sega, and I was showing off the Game Gear, and then I think it was like shortly thereafter, for some stupid reason, he decided to get rid of the Genesis and get a Super Nintendo. A Super Nintendo? Really? You're going to get rid of the Genesis and get this piece of crap Nintendo system. Not only that, but Nintendo was notorious for censoring their games and trying to make them more kid-friendly. And we all, know how that went. And so I just wasn't having it. I was like, dude, you're an idiot. How can you get rid of a Sega for a freaking Super Nintendo? Oh, but I could play Mario. Screw Mario. Screw that freaking plumber. But and at that moment, me and him both formed a very, very bitter rivalry. I said, in my house, there will only be Sega products. Only. And I said, I refuse. You can leave that Super Nintendo at your house. I refuse to even have it. To even have it in our house. So, the line was drawn in the sand. There will be no Nintendo products in my house. But, no, it's all good, though. And, so anyway, the summer of 95 came. And I believe it was for his birthday. His mom went out and got him the Sega Genesis CDX. Kid you not, kids. Sega Genesis CDX. A $450 piece of equipment this kid got. And I was just blown away. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, dude. You got a Sega CDX. You are like the coolest kid ever. So I went over to his house, and he showed me the cool things it does. You can put AA batteries in it. You can use it as a Discman. Play Sega Genesis games. I remember he had Sonic 3. He had Super Street Fighter 2. He had, and for Sega CD, he had the packing games. There's Echo the Dolphin and the Sega Arcade Hits 5, the 5-in-1. And then he also bought Prize Fighter and Sonic CD. And he also bought Panic. And we were playing the games, and I was just blown away by Sonic CD. It was just phenomenal. I put an Echo, and it blew my mind. I'd never heard or seen anything like it. Now I have the game myself, I see that it's set up in Q Sound. A revolutionary at that time. It was almost like surround sound. It's like Dolby Pro Logic, basically. So, on two speakers, So it was a beautiful game, both visually and audially. And so I was just blown away by that. And he's like, dude, you gotta see it. So he put in Prize Fighter. And basically my jaw hit the floor. The game was entirely, completely made up of FMV, full motion video action. I'd never seen anything like it before. I'd never seen a CD-based system before. I was like, this right here, this is the way of the future. Sega, again, has got it going on. Nintendo can't even catch up with this bullcrap. Nintendo can't even dream of catching up with this bullcrap. And I was just blown away and enthralled by the amazingness of this thing. And so I was like, and then we go to Blockbuster and we rent Tomcat Alley, and full screen FMV Sega Studios nonetheless. And we had so much fun with that weekend. It was just unbelievable. Tomcat Alley, Panic, Sonic CD, Streets of Rage. Dude, we played so much Streets of Rage, it's not even funny. And that summer was just a great freaking summer. The summer of freaking all kinds of Sega CD goodness. So I went home, and I just hit my parents up. Dude, I've got to have a Sega CD. And they're like, oh no, it's too much. It's too expensive. We can't afford... Do you think money grows on trees? We can't afford that crap. And I was like, dude, it doesn't matter. I have to have a Sega CD. Sell your kidney. I don't even give a crap what you got to do. Sell my sister on the street. I don't care. I got to have a Sega CD. And it was almost like a Christmas story. Just the amount of inundation these people got. I want a Sega CD, give me a Sega CD. I want a Sega CD, give me 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 a Sega CD. I want a Sega CD, 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 give me 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 a Sega CD. And it's just completely inundating these people with it. I have to have a Sega CD, I have to have a Sega CD, I have to have a Sega CD, I have to have a Sega CD. And so Christmas '95 comes. I'm in the 6th grade. And I went to Best Buy, and, well, no, it wasn't Christmas '95, I guess it was November or something like that, November '95. We went to Best Buy, walk in, they have a huge Jumbotron. We're talking monstrosity Jumbotron, because in the very middle of the store was the video game section. It was blocked off by, it was like basically a cube, and there were shelves. And there was an entrance point in the front, back, side. So it's, you know, shelf and another shelf. And then inside of it was the consoles. You got the Super Nintendo, the Genesis, this and that, and all this other stuff. But, I mean, it was really cool how they had it laid out. It was a pretty slick layout. But, when I walked in, and they had NBA Jam TE on the Jumbotron. And I went into the video game section, and they have this huge tower of JVC X-Size, the JVC Wonder Mega, as they call it, over across the pond. Which it was a system that JVC came together with Sega. It was kind of like the CDX. It was Sega CD and the Genesis all in one unit. But it was like a Sega CD Model 2. It was lengthwise. And it had a, you know, you push the button, the door pops up and closes it back up. But anyway, so here comes Christmas '95, and, well, we'll let the video talk for itself.
All right, go.
It's Stevie. Okay.
No, we just used that box. Did you notice they had a cassette with it?
Well, this kid's going
Record time. That's why I didn't want you trading with David.
Oh, finally! I'm battery back. Okay. I'll open my.
Tina's mad because Keith opened his big one first. Now don't get in the way of Katina.
Why is mine bigger than his?
Well, look at it. bigger than his.
Because mine has a VCR! I lost me. We bought that.
Well, Keith, you can trade TVs with her, and she gets the game then.
Sega CD.
So as you can see, a little bit more excited. It's kind of hard to see because that big freaking TV was in the way, but I got Vector Man, I got Sonic CD, I got Jurassic Park CD, and I think I got another Genesis game. Maybe not. Maybe it was just 3 games. But yeah, I remember vividly after we got that, me and Mom playing Sonic CD till like 3 in the morning that whole Christmas break. Because we were just completely enthralled by it. I mean, it was just great. It was just a fantastic, phenomenal game. Sonic CD is still great. Still holds up great. But as you can see, I was more excited for that than for the other thing. So, then in '96, for my birthday, I got some money. As, you know, everybody usually gets for their birthday money. I remember going to Walmart and seeing they had a huge mountain of 32Xs for $19.95 a piece. I was after a second, pulled the plug. And so I went and got a 32X in for Christmas of '96. I got a whole bunch of 32X, and I think I got like 6 32X games. So that was pretty slick. But right about that point, I started paying less and less attention to video games, started getting really into music. The music thing probably started in '94 or '93 when I got my CD player. That's when I got my first CD. But it was in '96 when I discovered metal and punk and industrial ska, alternative, and thrash and that kind of stuff. When I really started taking off, and as you can see there in the video, I got now a lot of freaking CDs, and as you can see, also a lot of freaking vinyl too. But the whole collection, they really hit its stride when I got in junior high and high school. And especially 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th grade, man, I was just CDs out the wazoo. But in the 11th grade, I remember spring break, I was on the IGN message boards, and of course, back then, that was before you had to be a premium member to get on the IGN message boards. Anybody could get on the message boards. But I remember being on the IGN message board, spring break 2001, and noticed that there was some talk of a Microsoft console coming up. It was supposed to completely blow the PS2 completely out of the water. Now, backtrack a little bit. Yeah, the Dreamcast did come out in '99, but again, by that point, I was just so into music, I just didn't even care if the Dreamcast was out. But I started reading about that, and I was like, man, that's pretty freaking slick. I'm gonna have to keep my eyes peeled. Senior year started 2001, and I remember we were all together on the lunch table talking about video games and stuff like that. And it was September of 2001. Sega officially decided to pull the plug on the Dreamcast, which was by far one of the saddest days in history. I went to Sam Goody and bought myself a Dreamcast, the Sonic Edition Dreamcast with the blue VMU. An extra controller, an extra VMU, a Shenmue, Sonic Adventure, and Sonic Shuffle came with the Dreamcast, but Shenmue and Crazy Taxi. So I got all that, and I think it was like $90 for all that. And I went home, and I remember just playing all day long. I was just in heaven. And so I was like, I gotta start saving for this Xbox, because this Dreamcast is just amazing. I have to start saving up for this Xbox. So I started saving up for the Xbox. And in October, I went and put a reserve down at KB for the Xbox. And I put in a reserve for Halo, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, Shrek, Dead or Alive 3, NHL Hits 2002, and Project Gotham Racing. So, at November 15th, 2001, at 8 a.m. I woke up, threw on some clothes, went to the mall. I sat there in the mall, right in front of KB Toys on a little park bench, and I just waited for 10 a.m. Thought the store opened up at 9, but it opened up at 10. So I waited for 10 a.m. And at 10, the doors open up, I rush in, I get my Xbox, I get my Halo, get my Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2X, get my Shrek, get my Dead or Alive 3, get my NHL Hits 2002, and Project Gotham Racing. And then I got 3 more controllers, got the heck out of there. So I went home and just said, screw school, I'm vegging out on video games all day long. So I just, I pretty much played all of these for all day long. And then basically about 3 o'clock, I finally stuck in Halo and started that. And then pretty much I blew off dinner and everything else and played Halo pretty much all night long. So that was a great freaking day. It was just a fantastic day. So with that, I was like, Sega and Microsoft, these two companies, they know what's what. Sony, screw you. Nintendo, freaking up yours. I hate you. And so, let's see here. Guess a little bit further down the road, in 2003, I went and got a PlayStation 1 from Game Exchange. In 2004, I got my Atari 2600. In 2005, or 2006, yeah, 2006, I got my Xbox 360. Then in 2008, I traded in the PlayStation 2 for a PlayStation 1. And then in 2009, I got a Sega Saturn. And then, so that's all my stuff. And to fill out the wife's stuff, in 2004, when we very first met, I took her to Game Exchange because she'd never been to a Game Exchange before. And she bought an NES there, which it was like basically brand new, and it still smelled like NES. And then she also had a Super Nintendo. And then when we got married, I remember we found an N64 for like $10, so we bought that. And then in 2007, my cousin got a Wii, and so he gave her his GameCube because she'd been wanting to play Luigi's Mansion. So she went and got the GameCube. Yeah, I mean, basically that's the whole story. I just thought it'd be interesting and kind of show it and intersperse, video clips. Just to say, these are the systems I was in, and these are the reasons I went for these systems. And still this day, freaking love the Sega CD. I still hold the Sega CD as the greatest console ever. I think it's just a great console. The FMV games, they just can't be topped. But thanks for watching, and I guess we'll see you around next time.